Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the S&M Show.
It's been a while. Bienvenido. Sawadee krapom.
Yeah, so it has been a while. It's been a couple weeks, maybe even 2 months, that we've put up a video. What's been happening?
I was
I've been here. Where have you been?
I was in prison. No, I'm kidding. Um, no, I was traveling. I went to India for motorcycle riding and Iran, which was supposed to be a motorcycle ride as well, but we ended up renting a car, friend and me.
Nice, nice. So you went to India, you went to Iran, just the two. Did you go to Nepal?
I've been to Nepal before. Actually, we had planned to go to Pakistan after India. That was
Right.
kind of an option. I shouldn't say we planned it. It was an option we were considering, and we did not end up doing that. My friend's been to Pakistan, and he found it similar to India for riding purposes, so we skipped it.
Okay. So, well, tell me about India. What happened there?
Well, there's a
How
number of
is
things.
India? How's the
Indi
food?
India's interesting. Everywhere you go is different. Um, the languages are different. The food is different. The landscape is different. The people are slightly different. People are generally friendly. A lot of touts, especially in Delhi, some scamming going on. Never felt like I was in danger from people, though. A lady might feel differently. Uh, Depending where you go, India is either absolutely filthy or just, how can I put it, pedestrian unfriendly at best. Now,
Oh,
the Muslim areas and the northern area of Ladakh, where I was, are considerably cleaner than the Hindu areas.
nice.
Um, Food was good, but I got tired of it. It's quite greasy and oily, especially South Indian food, really tasty. Ladakhi food and the Muslim area is a bit more bland. Um, and the riding, my friend and I rented two off-road bikes. We tried the Himalayans, the Royal Enfield Himalayans, which are made in India. We tried the
Oh,
Scram, which is like a Himalayan. And we found that they have a lag. There are lots of torque. Everybody wants the Himalayan. The Indians all want to ride Himalayans. The tourists all want to ride it because it has a rep. But they're heavy bikes, and while they do have torque, there's like a lag. And we knew that with the riding conditions, you want something light and nimble. So we went with what's called a Hero X-Pulse, which is also an Indian brand. They make very good bikes in India, really do.
okay.
And people are friendly. But oh God, the riding is extremely, extremely stressful. Extremely. I'm an experienced rider. I'm not very good with off-road, but between the road conditions, which by themselves I could handle, the road conditions, the traffic, even in isolated areas at times, um, the way they ride, and the incessant honking. I actually had to stop sometimes for a couple of days because I was getting nightmares. It was like having PTSD. It was
Nice.
really stressful. It was really, I was hyper vigilant all the time. You're always on the lookout for a possible accident. There's so many close calls. There's so many things happening. I have stories about it. I can go on for
But you weren't
hours.
riding in the cities.
Yes.
You were riding
Yeah,
in
not
the
in Delhi,
cities.
but we rode in major cities, yes.
Uh,
Jammu, uh, Jammu was a fairly big one. Srinagar, Leh. These are smaller. Manali, Darsamala, uh, Ganj. But specifically Jammu was quite big, quite busy. And
wow.
what else? Jinda, uh, Chandigarh. There were a few other cities.
And so once you get out of the cities, what the road conditions sort of deteriorate, and it's another. So in the city, you've got the stress of all the traffic. Outside the city, you've got the stress of poor roads.
You outside the city, depending on where you are, you've got all the stress at the same time. The poor roads, the traffic, the shitty drivers, the honking.
Oh, even outside there's
Even
traffic.
outside, there's some very busy areas,
Yeah.
extremely busy. But on top of that, you're riding through the Himalayas on roads that have rock slide on one side, the roads collapsed on the other where there's a cliff, and then you might have traffic just big enough for one big truck, and then you've got two-way traffic with queues behind them, and then motorcycles coming at you in between, and honking everywhere. It's extremely stressful, and I would say the most dangerous riding I've ever done in my life, and I've done Nepal. This is this is light years beyond Nepal. It's
Well, we'll have to see what the mortality rate from car accidents is for India. We'll post it on the
I don't know about car accidents,
over
but
the video. So
surprisingly, I only saw one car accident. It was in Delhi, and it was a fender bender.
yeah,
The way they ride, I'm surprised I didn't see fatalities everywhere. They have good reflexes. They're well coordinated. They're very skilled,
yeah.
but they drive like complete twats with no idea of risk or the dangers they pose to other people, and they're very impatient.
Wow.
But they can handle those conditions. For me, it was too stressful. It was
Yeah.
just insane.
How about the food in India?
Very good,
Very
very
good.
good. Most places, when you get into the more isolated areas of the Himalayas, say Sonamarg, that area, Dras, Kargil, there's really not much to choose from, and the food is quite bland. At best, you might get a watery kind of dal and
Mm.
some bread. Needless to say, it's India, so when it comes, people don't smell or anything. But once you get into the more isolated Muslim areas, they're cleaner, but they have no idea of hygiene when it comes to food. Zero,
Oh,
zero.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I've seen
zero.
my wife will watch the videos, and I've seen the videos where they're like cooking on the dirty floor, on a dirty tarp, and it's like, oh,
Uh, I haven't seen that, but I've been in restaurants that the food was very good, and
yeah,
I didn't get ill, but there was like a layer of dust this thick. Just looking out the window, there was like one of these. It wasn't an awning. It was like a lower corrugated roof.
yeah,
There were bottles, plastic bottles. There were rats. There was dust this thick. The
okay,
walls were covered in grease,
yeah,
and that's like where they store the food. It was disgusting. The menu was all sticky with crap on it.
yeah.
I was like, I was afraid to eat there. Nothing happened, and the food was good.
I mean, we've got some Thai restaurants here like that,
Oh
but
no, this was beyond the
but
worst
not
of the
quite
worst
as
here.
bad as you're describing. But I have seen some Thai restaurants where you're like,
Some of
I
them are
hope the
pretty
food is
sketchy.
good because yeah, I don't want to sit in here,
The
but
strange thing is usually the food isn't good in
and
those
you
places. I found it's not good.
oh,
In India it was, but not here.
when I've actually found it the opposite
I call
way.
these the sticky menu places.
Yeah. Well, we used to go to one. I won't say the name or where it is, but you used to go to one, and if you leaned against the table, right, because I got a bit of a belly, and you went then to sit back, your shirt would actually stick to the edge of the table, and you had to pull it off.
How appealing. How appealing.
It
Boy, that
was
gets
it
that
was
gets
like
my
peeling,
appetite going.
right? But the food was awesome. Never got
Uh,
sick from it. Really tasty, really good.
the places I've been to like that here, and there's been a couple, there were flies everywhere, and the food was not tasty. I didn't get sick.
Yeah.
The only place I ever got sick in Thailand was actually at an Indian restaurant in the night bazaar of Chiang Mai.
Oh,
And I
nice.
had some mutton, which I love. I love mutton, and I got basically deli belly. I didn't get the vomiting. I
Yeah.
got the deli belly.
Yeah.
But anyway, just to give you an idea of the hygiene, even in Leh, which is a fairly clean city, and that's not really Hindu. They're more Buddhist up there because there's a lot of like Tibetan influence and
Right.
Ladakhi people, which are not the same. And you go into a place and be like, asking for some cookies, and they'll literally pick it up with their bare hands and give it to you.
Yeah.
Or you Dras. I was in a place which had really shitty food. Like I said, Dras was very little choice and not very tasty. And this was a Muslim area, and the man's wife was in the back cooking, and I could hear her hacking away with the same cough I had. And we think we might have had COVID. And she was hacking away on the food like, and she's cooking. And then, he gave me a really watery coffee. And don't get me wrong, I'm explaining how bad the food and the coffee is here. Or actually, tea. They didn't have coffee. It's very hard to find good coffee in India, even in Delhi sometimes. Although Delhi has it in some places. Anyway, he gave me this watery tea, and I needed a spoon. So he's got a bunch of them lined up on his. The owner has them lined up on like a, I don't know what you call that. It's a place where you put the utensils on the wall,
Okay.
and like
A
a rack.
rack.
It's a rack. It's a rack. Yeah. I don't know why that little brain fart happened. And so he's touching them all with his hands, like, and he decides on one. And of course, he's touching them all at the head of the spoon. And he finally decides on this one to give to me. He picks it up and gives it to me. And that's normal there. They give you the spoon or the fork, and they're touching it. And it's like, there's no point even saying anything because That's how they all do it.
Yeah.
Or they, like I
Yeah.
said, you want a cookie, they literally pick it up with their bare hands. Who knows what they've done with it, but they give that to you,
Yeah.
and just no concept of food hygiene. It's really disgusting. Wonderful
Uh,
people, tasty food. Maybe the fecal matter adds to the taste. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. I've never put shit in my food, so I don't know.
Uh, there's no point even mentioning it because it's ubiquitous, this filth. I mean, there are some places that are clean and well run, I have to
Yeah.
say, but generally speaking, and the people, and when I say hygiene, I don't mean people smell or look dirty. They don't. They don't.
Right.
But when it comes to food, they're touching stuff, and
I
it's
mean,
like these people must have the best immune system on the planet. I don't know.
the Indian people that I've met always dress very nicely. The clothes aren't like oversized. They don't look like they're donated clothes or anything. They look very nice. They have nice shoes, nice shirts,
Well, there were some that
nice.
didn't. I mean, we have a
Always you're gonna
picture of a
have
guy
that.
we found in Delhi that was naked from the bottom down in a ratty shirt, upside down, sleeping in Delhi at night. It was like just
I
his
think
legs
you
spread.
did you send me? I think you
I think
sent
I
me a
might have sent that.
picture.
I'll put that in our video.
A
This and
picture.
we found another guy that was sleeping on the street in Delhi on a highway, completely naked.
There was there was
So
one
well, I
picture.
mean, there's poverty, right? They're poor.
There was one picture that you sent me. Well, we'll have to overlay it over the video, but there was one picture that you sent me of, I think it was a picture of you, and all I could see, couldn't see the face, but saw the trunk of a guy who was naked from the waist
Oh yeah,
down,
yeah,
and
that's the
his
one.
dick was just hanging
Yeah, yeah,
out.
that's it. That's it. That's the one. That's the one. Well, that's not the norm. I mean, that's not the norm. We
Of
saw two
course,
people
but
like that, but
yeah,
no. What I mean by hygiene is I don't mean what I mean. I want to be clear. I don't mean people look or smell dirty generally.
yeah,
What I mean is when it comes to food, they're just not observing safe practice of
sure,
any kind,
sure,
and
and look, in every country, including here, you have that statistical fringe of people who, you know, go around naked or drunk or
yeah,
mentally ill and don't care, don't know, aren't interested, and all the way to the upper end of
yeah, sure.
ultra clean germaphobes. So